Ayo, what's outside is within. The mind regulates the hand that masters the pen. The pen is mightier than the sword, but the tongue is mightier still. The stargate to the mind's revealed. The vortex.
Peace, Cyclonious here, the host of the Verbal Vortex Show, and we have a special guest with us. Could you address the public and tell them what your name is?
Hi everyone, I go by the name of Natski, and I guess you can call me a re-emerging artist.
Okay, I wanted to start off first with your name. You know, where does that come from? And give us some insight into Natski.
Okay, so my first name's Natalie, my maiden name is Skeet. My siblings named me that naturally in the home when I was younger, but it really cemented when I was around 14 in my drama class. I did a skit pretending to be Normski, so I changed the Norm to Nat.
Right.
And that's how Natski really emerged when I was 14 more so, I believe. I think could be before then, but I think it was around 14 in drama class. He had a show called Dance Energy, I believe. And I had the energy and I had the attire. I remember coming in with my champion tracksuit and my hat with the tie at the end, and I was gone.
Involved.
I was fully gone, yeah. So Natski really stuck from then.
Okay. So sliding into a bit of like your music and your creative process, how would you describe your sound and the mix of genres you explore in your music?
Well, I'm going to talk about my music probably from 20 years ago, and I guess I can say you could label it wholly as hip hop. There was hip hop, yes, rap, a bit of bashment at the time, but wholly hip hop because there's a lot of pop to me. But also there was knowledge, there was conscious, rapping as well. So I guess at the time hip hop. Now, and I've always done jungle, garage, grime. So I guess what could you call that? It's an eclectic mix. Should I say? An eclectic mix, but hip hop mainly.
So do you think blending genres like grime, garage, soca, bashment, rock, it helps you to stand out in today's music scene?
I think it can help, but that's just me, to be fair. That's organic to me.
Right.
I've had the influence of those genres from very early in my life, and they're here to stay pretty much.
So what would you say inspires your songwriting or creative process when approaching a track?
It's got to be something that I can write about that can relate to me. I can't do falsehoods.
Okay, yes.
I can't do false. I'm not going to talk about weapons. I never held a weapon in my life. I'm not going to talk about anything that has not been in front of me or have not gone through. I will feel like a fraud, to be honest. It mostly relates to real life, music itself, dance, because dance is a big part of my life. Current affairs. Those are the things that you're going to get from me.
Right, I hear you. So it sounds like it's very much more like energy based, like a lot more vibes.
Absolutely. Yeah, you knocked it on the head.
No
Definitely.
Yeah. So are there any artists or genres you've recently discovered that have influenced your current direction?
It's kind of hard to say per se, because I listen to a lot of old music. Yeah. I don't think I could get past a certain era. I can't get past the 90s too well. Early 2000s. Yeah. I love. But I listen and I acknowledge. I don't think anything influences me that greatly. But I acknowledge and then maybe something might filter in, but it's not really that conscious.
Okay. All right, so recently, you've had an appearance on AG's platform. What is it about live performances that excite you the most, and how do you prepare for them?
I think I'm naturally an entertainer. I've been performing since the age of 5. What excites me? I just think it's the energy. I play things out in my head, so my preparation, I retreat. I just have to be very solo in what I'm doing. So my family don't see what I'm doing. It's quite a personal process. Right. I practice. I imagine what I would like the response to be. Not to say it's always going to be that.
Yes.
And I also go through how I want to present myself, and I have to make sure that I'm fit for the job as well. That's quite important to me too. So yeah, I don't know. I just think it's a methodical thing, and I think energy is at the forefront.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to come across well. I want people to enjoy the experience.
Right.
And I think that's what stares me.
Yeah, that's right. Because it's different than just just playing the thing and hearing it.
Yeah,
You're actually going to be seeing it and be a part of the show. So I hear that, man. Yeah. How do you feel the UK scene musically has evolved since you first started?
Greatly. The ones that are doing it now and have been doing it for the last 10 years have come a long way. But I think that it depends on the genre. So if we're talking hip hop, UK hip hop, it might be a bit of a different story. Plus, I don't really know all the goings on with hip hop in the UK at the moment. I believe it's at large. There are artists that are now at the forefront and crossing the waters. So the influence is big. UK music can stand up by itself now.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was doing it, UK artists were still really wanting the Americans to acknowledge them and like them and so forth.
Yeah.
To crack the American scene was a big thing back in the day. But now it's just natural, and that's because of the help of the internet. So UK music is standing up by itself. The scene is standing up by itself.
Yeah.
And it's great to see, to be honest.
So what role does UK culture play in shaping your sound or identity as an artist?
Oh gosh, that's a hard question. That's a hard question.
Really?
Ask me that again?
What role
Yeah.
does UK culture
Yeah.
play in shaping your sound or identity as an artist?
I guess I'm just UK.
Through and through.
I just think I'm UK.
Yeah.
What else can I say? I mean, I have my cultural background.
Well, the reason why I asked that is because stemming off that first question, you're talking about us wanting to be accepted by the Americans. Yeah. I remember there was a point when a lot of rappers used to rap over here. Used to rap in an American accent. Do you see what I'm saying? But now it's like it's unheard of. None of us, I guess, would ever be doing that because we're embracing who we are.
Yeah.
And it's really good to see that in real time. Do you know what I'm saying? So I guess that's where I'm coming from, just your mindset a bit more further into that. Because
I've always... So what people heard on AG, that's how I've always sounded.
Right.
Like I'm from the UK, I assume. That's what I hear. I don't know what anyone else would hear. But I guess that I've always been good with coming from the UK. Being from East London especially, I've always been proud to be an East London girl. The sounds of East London, or not, let me scrap the East London, the sounds of London growing up would have been, I would hear reggae, rare groove, soul. Then going into my teens, it would have been jungle.
Yep.
Jungle was a massive thing, and that then led to garage. So all those things, I embody all of those things. I'll get onto the soca part afterwards, but I embody all of those things. So yeah, it's just me.
Yeah,
it's just me. I think that's shaped to who I am. To be fair, beats, bass lines.
Yes,
that's shaped to who I am.
Do you think UK artists get enough recognition on a global scale, as we was talking about, compared to artists from the US or other regions? How do you feel it is right now?
Probably not as wide as America. I think America's a different ball game. But I think UK artists, they are getting the limelight.
That's right, yeah.
But I think only a few are really getting the limelight. I think there's more to come through, but I think it's placement and who's willing to take a chance of promoting that person.
Yeah.
And if they fall into the perimeters within the music industry. Yeah. So if you're young, you're hungry, and you want it at no matter the cost, you're gonna be fine pretty much. But if you want to speak the truth all the time, that might be a different ball game.
I hear you.
Might be a very different ball game.
I hear you. That's real. So how do you balance paying homage to traditional UK sounds
Yeah.
while experimenting with other genres?
I just think I just throw it all in a pot, to be honest. I'm a soup type of person, so I think that I'll pay homage by... I'm old school, so that will always be there. But I'm not afraid of newness. I'm not afraid of change.
Yeah.
But I think I'm a person that values the old as well as the new. So for me, I don't think that would be a problem.
That's good to hear. But just coming off of that, do you feel that most of the old school artists
Yeah.
are maybe stuck in their ways and don't want to embrace the newer sort of sound or newer culture or newer themes?
No, I don't think so. I think there's a place for everything. So we need the old school artists to be who they are, to remain as they are.
Yes.
Because that kind of keeps that old school vibe and tradition alive.
That's true.
I think that's really important. Not everyone is open to embracing newness. So that's fine also. But I just think everything has its place, has its slot. And I think things can coexist. I think two things can work at the same time.
Yeah.
Or more.
Okay. Now, I wanted to go into being a female MC. Now, for me personally, I've never looked at, gender.
Yeah.
I've always just looked at skill based and conceptions and what people are talking about and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I know for a lot of people, they always say, oh, there's still this stigma of like female MC, femme MC or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that's the first question. Is the stigma of being a female MC still a thing in 2025? Or do you feel it's finally becoming a non-issue?
There's always going to be an issue. I just think it's always going to be a thing, isn't it?
And then someone's going to come...
Female
"Oh."
footballer,
Yeah,
female plumber. I don't know. I think it's just going to be a thing.
Yeah.
I just think you can't get rid of certain things. I just see myself as an MC.
Yeah.
If someone wants to talk to me about being a female MC, I'm not going to be offended.
Okay.
I'm not going to be offended because at the end of the day, there are not enough female MCs being pushed through. So it's still a thing, isn't it?
Right.
So it's still a topic.
Yeah.
It's still a concern. People might question, or maybe there's not enough good female MCs. I don't think that's true. I think there are loads. I may not know all of them. They may not be on my radar, but they're on somebody's radar. And, the theme recently has been about gatekeeping.
That's right.
There's been a lot of gatekeeping conversations. So there could be tons of female MCs, but they just may not be getting that break. But, if someone wants to say, oh, you're a good female MC, I'm like, okay, thanks. But I know I'm an MC at heart.
Yeah, I me personally, again, I know it's not about me, but
Yeah.
I'll just sprinkle this little bit in there.
Yeah.
I have a little problem with that because if I'm spitting, I'm just a good MC.
Yeah.
Now then, if to some people, if you're spitting, oh, she's a dope female MC. Like you just said, it's all. I like to focus on the MC.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's sometimes just semantics.
Yeah.
I don't get into it.
Yeah.
I just be it.
True. I think that's one of the right ways to deal with it, isn't it? Have you ever faced any challenges as a woman in the music industry, and how have you overcome them, I should say, sorry.
I don't remember any challenges when I was recording first time around, to be honest. The only challenge that I think was present is that the record company I was with didn't know how to market me.
Okay.
Because, to give a bit of insight, I was rapping, I could sing. Please don't come for me, people. I'm not the best singer in the world, but I can hold a little tune. Yeah. But I was singing on my tracks. I was doing my background vocals. I was doing backing vocals for other artists on the label. When there was a show, I choreographed.
Okay.
I danced. So my girls, we had a group called Trauma at the time. So my girls from there would be be with me on my shows and so forth. So I could do it all. I did my own styling and so forth. Because I did so much and I could do so much and I was confident in what I was doing, I think it was really difficult to...
They couldn't really guide you.
What could they do with me?
Yeah,
What could they do with me?
Yeah.
What could they do with me,
Nothing.
really and truly? When in hindsight, when I think about it, they struggled. They struggled. Those times I was influenced by, of course, Missy Elliott.
Yeah.
I was compared to Missy Elliott from before I was recording. Khalees.
Right.
Anyone that was energetic. Rah Digger.
But these are good people.
These are great people.
Yeah, to
These
be
are great
compared
people.
by.
Yeah. And in my eyes, they had the opportunity to really do loads with me. But I guess it's different eyes see different things.
Yeah, that's right.
They see different things, and because I did pop as well, I did a little bit of bashment, as I said before, and whatever else that came to my head, I guess they're thinking, "Oh, not sure." So that was the main challenge that I faced. But it was love on the circuit. When I was doing my shows, when I was recording, it was love, I must say. I could never deny the love that I got then.
So it sounds like, the people embraced you, but the industry was a bit like, ooh, what can we do with her? Or, ooh, we can't put her where we feel that she needs to be.
Yeah, and I think everything's timing. I was meant to do a music video, I remember, and it never materialised.
No?
It never materialised at all. And some of my tracks were mastered, the main ones I was performing. My girls were ready to go, I was ready to go, but it just never happened. And that's when the heartbreak came.
Right.
And that's when I stopped.
So if the video was there, you think that put it this way, did the video, do you feel that it not coming out, it just kind of knocked back the confidence?
I don't think it was just the video. I think there was an amalgamation of different things. The album was being done.
Right.
We had some material.
Right.
There's some material there. Recently I recovered most of my music, because beforehand I couldn't really listen to a lot of it. Because up until November 2024, I was coming out of the heartbreak. And that's a long time.
That is a long time.
That's nearly 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So what it was, I think the main challenge was the people that were managing me, so forth, didn't do, in my opinion, the best they could do by me in pushing me out there. I kept waiting. As a young, hungry person, that could be a problem.
Yeah, definitely.
And then it just dwindled. It just naturally dwindled. There was no see you later, bye, really and truly. I have no animosity towards them, but it just dwindled and things just stopped naturally. So therefore, and there's just a lot of isms and schisms in that as well.
Yeah.
But I stopped becoming a recording artist then. I think the last performance I did was 2005.
Yeah?
Yeah, 2005 with that label.
Right.
It just naturally stopped.
So since the label, you've kind of just
I've just done a little bit of emceeing here and there, my good people. I'm gonna spit on the mic today. I'm like, oh no, shy, retiring, and that was it. Like as an artist, that was the last.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the last.
So do you think that the industry is doing enough to support and showcase female talent in traditionally a male-dominated space or genre?
I think there are elements of that happening. I don't know enough, to fully comment. So if I comment on it, that's just not being true. I don't know enough of what's going on. I just hear bites of things.
Okay.
But I don't know enough to see what's really been going on.
What advice would you give to young, up-and-coming women looking to pursue careers in music as an MC?
I think trust your instincts. I think that's the most important thing. Trust your instincts. If you feel you've got something, keep writing, keep recording, stay close to people that are offering to help you and you feel they have a good intention for your music and your craft. Don't get too disheartened by knockbacks, but just keep at it. I think that's the most important thing. Keep at it. Don't stop.
Real talk. I wanted to just move over, because I remember you mentioned soca earlier on.
Yeah.
You know, I love soca as it is myself, you get me? But I wanted to go into your Caribbean roots and maybe influence from that area. How much of your Caribbean heritage do you feel comes through in your music and performances?
I think it's there. My Bajan beacon.
It just
My light.
shining bright,
I'm
yeah?
such a staunch Bajan. I just talk about Barbados all the time. All the time. I think even though I might be spitting a bit of hip hop or doing a bit of grime here and there, I just think my mannerisms speak.
Louder.
The island, yeah, the islands. The island's there.
Yeah, but that's dope though.
The island's there. Both of my parents are from Barbados.
Okay.
So I'm a full fat Bajan, I call it. And from being my dad's playing calypso soca in the house from early o'clock. That's just in my bloodstream. That's in my psyche. That's not going anywhere. That's not going anywhere. So I think the soca and calypso element will always stick with me, and that's something I'm sad I didn't get to touch on in my early years, but I'm not sad about it now because I know I'm going to be doing soca.
Good.
I know I'm going to be doing soca, and I know I can do it. And I know that I believe soca just needs to be pushed a lot more. If you're talking about a genre that needs to be pushed, it is soca and calypso.
Yeah. I'll definitely say that. I think it's a lot more, it's weird, it's a lot more tolerated and appreciated nowadays. But I think with the right little, I don't know, something behind it, it would do a lot more.
I don't know why it's not bigger.
Do you know what it is? I find, this is what I hear from other people. Well, they don't say it to me, but one or two say it to me, but what I've heard is a lot of people don't like, it's too vibesy and too happy. That's what I'm getting from people. I know it sounds mad.
No, I understand exactly what you mean.
Right? They like, don't get me wrong, I can say this because I'm partly Jamaican, but they like, you know, like in bashment, you have certain man talking about, yo, I'm gonna shut you, I'm gonna do this. They like the bad man thing, But when it comes to one man saying, yo, we're all up around, man, they don't want to hear that. They're saying, no, that's too much.
They don't want nice things.
Yeah, basically.
They don't want nice things.
What? I've never had any issues with like soca in a sense. All they want to do is wine, gal, drink rum, fet. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. I don't understand anyway. But majority of people, they want to hear. Did you used to go soca parties back in the day? Of course. Just a little bit about me. My family, my dad's from St. Kitts. Yeah. My mum was born here, but her parents are Jamaican and Trini. Right, okay. And I get along. My Trini side pulls on Trini a lot. Oh, well, yeah, of course. So when it's for me, like, it's fair. Wind up yourself.
When you've been to a fair, what's it been for you? What's the atmosphere been like?
Nothing but vibes. Nothing but. If I talk about how I feel, I feel joyful. Correct. I feel part of that. I feel a part of the collective. Yeah. I don't have to, I never, when I'm in there, I'm not looking over my shoulder, I'm not looking around thinking, is there going to be a squabble, is there going to be any arms out? To the point where, like, I don't like the come down of you, so I'm saying, when it's time to go home, and say, the fet.
People still want to fet in the street.
You know what I'm saying? So, I feel really good in those places.
And not to say that stuff doesn't happen at a soca fet. Because people will be people no matter where you go. Of course. But the general vibration in a soca dance is euphoric. It's good for the soul. Soca is good for the soul. You can have any topic, any commentary or whatever it is, but soca for me brings joy. I see the way my children respond to soca. Right. They're joyful children. When we put on soca, it's jokes.
Vibes.
It's vibes in the house, it's jokes. When my husband and I are vibing to soca, it's a good feeling. And I guess, going back to your other question, I guess that is what fuels me as well. That good feeling. Old calypso, social commentary. We're talking about topics that affected the island and globally as well.
That's right.
But they were done with bants and jokes. And that's what the people really loved. And they had a story to tell. Storytelling is such a key thing in like calypso and soca.
Yeah.
And I've got a story to tell, so that sticks on me.
That's right.
That sticks on me. So I guess that's where I would take Barbados everywhere with me.
And you know what? As you're saying this, you know what I'm thinking of? People who all say about soca this and that. You know the one major event where everybody goes to? They go to Notting Hill Carnival. And what does that do? That brings all of the islands together.
Everyone together.
And everybody don't want to go home. Everybody's jumping and having.
They want after party after party.
This is right. This is it.
Yeah.
Do you draw specific melodies, rhythms, or vibes from soca or other Caribbean music traditions, like when you're creating?
Not consciously. Never thought about that actually. But I guess that I do. Because soca has evolved greatly over the years.
Yeah.
And, you know, if I was a DJ, I'd be mixing and blending soca and grime and whatever a lot more. So I guess I do take that on actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I do.
Are there any aspects of your upbringing that have shaped your approach to music creatively?
100%. As I talked about with my dad,
Yeah.
the calypso in the house being played. My siblings. So let me give you an idea. My brother, reggae.
Right.
He's got green sleeves, vinyl. So we're talking about original reggae music he's got to this day. Hip hop, that's from my brother. LA, we'll talk about Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg,
More
NWA, West Coast, yeah.
Right.
So that's my love for West Coast comes from my brother. Other elements of hip hop as well. My sister, when I think of my sister at home, I'm thinking about Luther Vandross. I'm thinking about Rare Groove. I'm thinking about Soul to Soul. My sister introduced me to Soul to Soul. And I'll always be grateful for those influences in the household. Then in other places, like my cousins, Rare Groove, Revival. Those are my early memories of my music. And on the flip side, my grandfather, God rest his soul, he grew up in a church, as my dad did as well. So hymns from the church still stick with me. Those kind of melodies and I don't know what else how to describe it. My granddad also was a classical man. So classical music I've always had a tolerance for classical music, whether I wanted to or not. Because of my granddad's love for classical music and always playing it in the house, sometimes to my grandmother's pain, God rest her soul as well. I then I was in orchestra at school and I played the cello.
Okay.
So I have a love for classical music. The only genre I'm not really keen on is jazz.
For real?
But saying that, when Neo Soul came out, there was elements of jazz, wasn't there?
It's very jazzy, yeah.
And I love Neo Soul.
Yeah.
But if you take me to a jazz club, I may not quite get into it at first.
You're not feeling a little. What's that word where they do the skitting and the beat?
I can't get my head around it. But there's jazz elements in a lot of music that I love.
Yeah.
It's just really, really weird. But 80s pop. Love me a bit of Kylie Minogue and Jason Donovan, and my favourites, which would have been Bros, Spandau Ballet,
yeah.
Duran Duran, Madonna. The list goes on. I love my pop music. And there's just so many early interventions from different sounds that stay with me and will never leave. And then R&B, when I became a teenager, I found out by myself, I think. Actually, no, probably my sister. And some neighbours I had as well. I can hear the music through the walls. Jodeci was a big part of my life.
Yeah. Same for me. I think Jodeci. You know, I had an argument with someone the other day that, what do you reckon is the greatest, like, R&B group from the 90s? I said, Jodeci. And they said, what? No, Drew Hill. I said, how?
No.
How? Like, don't get me wrong, Drew Hill's
love
hard.
Drew Hill.
Yeah, but like,
You see Jodeci, the sounds like Devontae Swinger's a producer.
Yeah.
Was it Timbaland was in there as well, and there's I don't even want to call names because I'm going to call it wrong. There was a whole unit that had made beats and made sounds, and it was like nothing I've heard before at that point.
Yeah.
So for me, Jodeci is like a landmark of my deep love. Intro as well.
Yeah.
Whoever produced Intro's music, because they made me feel away. And Aaliyah and so forth. That was key.
Okay. Last question, based in the Caribbean territory.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself collaborating with Caribbean-based artists or incorporating more of those sounds in the future?
I have to.
Yes.
I have to. I really want to bring it home. I was born here in Great Britain, but I also belong to Barbados. You can ask any member of my family. I am. I have to. And it's not just sticking with Barbados. I love the islands.
Yes.
I've not been to all the islands, not been to many, but there's so many artists across the islands that I would love to work with. If given the chance, even DJs, if given a chance. So yes, absolutely.
Dopeness. All right. More into like a personal and your professional goals.
Yeah.
What are your short-term and long-term goals as you focus on getting back into recording and performing?
Ooh, good question. Short-term goals. I think the short-term goals will just to get back out there. I think there's a lot of work that's required to keep current. Now, I'm not a crazy content person.
Right.
That requires work. And let's be real, I cannot put my headspace in creating content every 5 minutes. That's not me. But I will do whatever it takes to remain current. That's my short term. That will fuel into my long term. But I would like to, long term wise, I would like to create a masterpiece for my children to have when I'm probably no longer here. And that be passed on and passed on and passed on. So long term, I would like to create something that could serve well for years to come.
Right.
Just not be about the now. I want it to be timeless, and that's going to require some work.
Right.
Right now, short term, I also have to have fun.
Yeah.
Because I've been dormant in a way for, not dormant because life has been happening, but the music has been dormant for around 20 years. It's just been sitting there. I would like to bring some of that out as well, with respect and love from the creator, Hold Tight Dollar D, who produced all of my music, and Silverstone as well, who is a recording artist himself. Silverstone is a fantastic artist representing Ghana and the UK and all in between. So I would love to bring back some of the old music alive because we had some gems. But long lasting, the impact would be when I'm no longer here, I want the music to play on. Right.
So the names that you just mentioned, are you still in contact with these people?
To a degree. So Silverstone, yes.
Yeah.
We say hey, whatever now and then, pretty much on social media.
Yeah.
I have got contacts for Dollar D. So there's no issue with saying, hey, yo, what you're saying. I don't know if he still makes music, but he was a really talented producer, and he understood the vision.
Right.
Yeah, he understood my vision. I would like to believe I understood his vision, and we was able to make music effortlessly at that time.
Right, that's good. How do you envision your music evolving, like in the next few years, and what message do you hope to leave with your audience?
I'm not sure how I see my music evolving. I just think I'm adaptable. And what's the message I want to leave?
Yeah.
Live good, walk good. That's all I can say. Listen to me. As you know, I work with young people. And if you speak to 5 young people over the 5 years I've been with my current place, they would tell you my main thing has been about karma. Yeah. And what you do now and how you do it, it will come back to you.
Yeah.
Okay. We have children, so I know anything that I do now, it could fall onto my children. That's my great belief. So
Yeah.
I try my hardest to do goodness. I'm a human, so there's going to be times I'm not going to do everything very well, but intentionally try to be a good person. Live for the life you have now. Do whatever is in your heart. We just get one shot. It sounds so cliche. And sometimes I get stuck in, well, I need to do this, I need to do that, or maybe I'm not ready. Right now at this stage, I'm doing what I want to do. As long as I'm not hurting anybody, I'm not doing anything sinister, I'm doing it. So that's the message. Do what your heart wants to do, and do it with peace in your mind, peace in your soul, and don't hurt anybody. Please, I beg. That's the main message.
Nice. And we have reached the end of the conversation. Unless you have anything else you would like to expound on. Actually, no. For the people out there watching, could you give them your socials?
So I'm not on TikTok at the moment. That's another story.
You know what I'll say to you? Yeah, you need to get on the TikTok. I don't know what it is. TikTok for me, out of all of them, like
gone clear.
Well, not gone clear, but I got the most. That's
engagement.
That's the most engagement.
Yeah,
for me.
I have. This is my reason for me not going onto TikTok. I am already a distracted moth. I'm a distracted moth. Instagram captures me already.
Yeah.
And I know that's not even the one where you have the most engagement. I know what TikTok can do.
Yeah.
From the time I heard about TikTok Shop, I knew that was going to be a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem. Because I've been putting stuff on TikTok.
I'm scared. I'm actually not on TikTok because of fear.
Yeah, I heard
because I know there's going to be a rabbit hole for me to get in and I can't get out. So I'm in the process. I swear to God, I'm in the process of just saying that. Take time. Take time. I know that there has been so much love on TikTok for me already without me being on TikTok. And I know I've missed all those comments, all those fire emojis and everything. And I just had to say to the ego, just settle yourself, yeah? You know what you are. You give thanks for them. You get onto TikTok when it's time. But I just have to eradicate other nonsense that my mind is going into.
Right.
Because at the moment, my activity level on Instagram has increased because of the new attention.
Yeah.
And I'm already distracted by that.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm really distracted by these things. So I do want to get on TikTok, but I know TikTok Shop's going to have me up. I know it already.
Yeah, to be fair with you, like, you know, look how much bloody apps there is. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, all of the...
It's too much.
Yeah, it's too much. So I think the novelty at first will be like, oh wow, but I think when you got all these platforms to be feeding, I don't think you're going to be scrolling as much. You're going to be like, I got to get dashing all certain places. So
okay.
You'll be good there.
I'm bracing myself. I was giving myself to the end of this month. I'm going to do it. I was going to do it today.
Yeah.
I can't deal with the capacity of all the
man.
things that's coming my way.
Yeah, man. I think, and you know what the best thing as well is, you know, the interaction with the outsiders is good, because you know a lot of it now will be like, oh yeah, we saw you on so that it kind of it's the fuel. It's going to fuel you on. Right. So what do they type in?
So on Instagram, is NATSK3.
Right.
You can find me there. That's it. I'm on Instagram. I'm as interactive as I can be. And by the end, hold me to this. By the end of January 2025, I'll be on TikTok. I'll be there. AG said to me already, I need to get on it. From the time he met me, he's like, yeah, you need to be on it. So I need to fix up and be on it.
Well, you know what? In your own time. But I was to say to you, just have a look in there. Yeah. Watch how it flex. Yeah. And I guarantee after a while you're going to be like, yeah.
It's nothing, innit?
Man. Yeah.
It's nothing. Yeah. No, I'm gonna embrace it. I'm gonna embrace it and just work on not being the distracted moth that I really am.
Thank you very much for your time, my dear.
Thank you for having me, man. It's been lovely, and more power to you. Keep doing what you're doing. Respect. This is a wonderful platform, so I hope it goes from strength to strength.
Thank you very much.
Yo, what's outside is within. The mind regulates the hand that masters the pen. The pen is mightier than the sword, but the tongue is mightier still. The stargate to the mind's revealed. The vortex.